So we should be going. We should be going here.
Here we are.
On a Friday night, man. On a Friday night.
Man, I am so glad to be here today. Is this thing working, everybody? Is it wild out there or not?
Yep, it is.
Is the noise just too loud?
Episode 224, too, man. If you're counting.
If you're counting.
I count.
Yeah, we count every single time.
Yeah.
Because we can't believe how many
times we sat here and done this. Yeah.
Yes.
It is pretty cool.
And with the election in 4 days.
Right.
You know?
And, I think that when we first started this, man, pointing out the corruption of our government, pointing out all the things that we've been seeing go wrong within our country, whether it was on a political nature, whether it was on a culture nature, you know what I mean? We've all geared up, I guess, to this point in history, man, because I tell you what, the next week is going to be history making. I believe, and it may change our country.
Yes, I think it already has.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons we decided to take this new venture into podcasting.
Yeah.
Is because the mainstream media is just absolutely propaganda now.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't trust anything that you watch or see anymore.
No, you can't.
I mean, we've had so many things that is going on out there and so much noise.
Right. And what's been great about it is the past 4 years especially, people that may have trusted, the fair and balanced news source or, trusted CNN or trusted Fox or whoever, and they trusted their news and they got their news there every day. I'm telling you, man, when 2020 began and the COVID thing hit and the government went all big brother on us and the censorship began and the cancellations began and all of that, and I think it opened a lot of people's eyes to what's going on.
Yes.
And I know that there's still a lot of people out there right now that still got their eyes closed.
I know.
To what's going on. And some people, just check out and they'll go off and just, hey, man, I got to get up today and I got to work my 8 to 5 and I got to go home because I got 3 kids and, we got activities going on this evening and before you know it, it's bedtime. We're all going to bed and then they ain't heard a drop of news and they kind of check out.
They do.
But
sorry to interrupt.
No, but what I was going to say with that, though, was, I think a lot of those type people in the past 4 years, once they begin to see how things went down, man, I think they've begun to open their eyes. And that's why we're here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, do or die, live or fail, because we want to bring to you, even on our small world perspective of the things that we see that are talked about on the national level, we see them on the local levels just as well, man, grassroots.
Right. And with the help of so many grassroots individuals all over the country, in every state.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me the grassroots that has exploded for conservatives. Conservatives really never really had a ground game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Democrats, they always have been,
you're right.
Right there doing their thing, and this is how we're going to do it, and we're going to organize. And they
act, man. They act on it. They did, and they took advantage. So we've had
to actually force ourselves, us included, to get out there and be active.
And they don't like the competition.
And there's a lot of people out there that don't understand it.
Yeah.
I mean, people in our family,
or
people that we see on a day-to-day basis, But I talk to people every single day, and different people, and every single one of them will say the same thing about how the prices are bad. The economy's bad, and I had someone talk to me today about where she came from. And she said, I came from California. And you would be amazed at the difference. And she's telling me this, at the difference in East Texas than over California, because what she couldn't understand and why she moved which was with her boyfriend, but she said, I had to move out of California because everything is about electric cars, everything. And then they plug
the green energy,
and then they plug everything into the electric, and then you have brownouts.
Right.
And you never have your electricity when you need your electricity. She said it's just terrible.
And I bet they still pay astronomical prices for it, too.
And she said that. And she says, people think that's free. You know, that's not free.
Right.
That's expensive.
Well, yeah.
And when you have electric cars, you have to plug them in, and it takes hours at a time to get it done. And it costs a lot of money to be there and do that.
And I'm not even talking about the cost of implementing the charging stations, you know, for the cars or the amount of electricity that the cars draw. Just regular Joe Schmo over here who's driving a 96 Ford, you know, he's still paying the same energy costs for his lights and his electricity. You know what I mean? So it's still astronomical for him too.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's not even involved in their crap.
I know, but that's all coming.
I get it.
To us. They're trying, and she even said that. She said that she could see it spreading.
Yeah.
You know, and even over here. And I said, she said, that's why I Uber. She said, I just want to get in a gas-powered car and go.
Yeah.
And she's looking for one, and she was like, I like your car. I really like the way, you know, it handles. So she might end up with a Jeep Cherokee.
There you go.
Who knows? But anyway, people are seeing it. I didn't ask her who she votes for. We didn't talk about politics. We talk about the issues of the day. And everybody out there, doesn't matter your politics, sees it. They see it.
Yeah.
They see what's going on. They know what's going on.
They see it. They see an at least 25% increase in their cost of their groceries. They still see gas a lot of places over $3.50, $4 a gallon, man. But what they don't see is their wages going up. What they don't see is other job opportunities out there, man, where they could go and get better and improve their lives, just like what we seen this morning on Fox News. What came out early? Real early, matter of fact. One of the earliest I've ever seen.
That's the first I've seen it ever happen. I even asked, why today?
Yeah, the October jobs report, man, came out.
Here, we're going to play this little video for you, only because we made it fun, because this how these people are.
Kamalanomics, man.
Kamalanomics.
Yep. And it's over. And it's... Oh, we're going to do it again. All right, it is.
Open your eyes.
Yeah, cool, man.
Cool. Open your eyes, guys.
We did a little slide audio test
in
there, too.
And we were testing that audio. So please be patient with us.
Now the show can roll. We know what we
roll.
Yep.
Because if y'all were listening to us, watched us last week.
Well, Wednesday.
Wednesday is when, God, it seemed like it was such a long time ago.
Yeah.
When you watched us on Wednesday, our videos and audios did not play.
Yeah, the
audio didn't come through.
Sure did not.
We still do not know why.
Yeah, haven't figured that out yet.
We have not figured it out, but it worked today. And this is the only video that we plan on playing and was hoping that it would come through.
We tried to be professional.
We did. But hey, but we're not.
Honest mistake,
because we're still learning this, but... You know, we're having a blast doing this. The election is 4 days away.
Yep.
We're going to continue to do this. I'm pretty sure it's going to get crazy after the election. So we're going to hang in on that. But the jobs numbers did come out, and this little report right here is not good for the Biden-Harris administration.
Kamalanomics.
That's it.
Everybody's
I can't even say it.
Kamalanomics.
Kamalanomics. Look, I did it.
Yep.
I parroted him.
Yep.
I do that a lot.
It's the
y'all.
Harris-Biden administration from here on out. Win or lose, man.
Win or
We need to
lose.
make them go down in history as a Harris-Biden
You know, and this came
administration.
from, of all
'Cause they
things,
cooed him. Yeah.
the Washington Post. So, okay, so I'm just going to have to say this. I keep saying so I'm sorry about saying so.
Let's go.
What it is, what gets me is, okay, we talked about how the job report come out today, first thing this morning.
Right.
Then this comes out, via Washington Post. And then Washington Post, Jeff Bezos did not endorse Kamala or anybody for president.
Right.
So why is all of a sudden Washington Post going, hey, here's some real shit?
Yeah.
What's up with that? I mean, I don't know. I feel like there's so much like little things that we're missing, that's there, and that there's a reason why they bring this out.
Yeah.
So early, but then all the other noise that's going on in the background so that you don't notice it.
Right.
This is signal, folks. This is signal. They don't want you to see what they've been doing. And they lied. These numbers have been brought down over time because they lied about the numbers to begin with.
Well,
so if these numbers that came out this morning are
that's
inflated
what
like they normally do, then it's going to be even lower.
That's what I was fixing to say. Look at the chart, and you see in January of 21, you're right at about 400,000.
Mm-hmm.
But then you look over here. What's that? January, February, March, April, May, June, July. July of 21, same year, and that number bumps well over 800,000. And then it does it two more times. And then another time it's between 600,000 and 800,000. And another time it's between 400,000 and 500,000. How many times have those numbers been changed too? Because you look at the economy and you look at the amount of people that they have flooded our country with for us to have created this low number, 250, 300,000. That should be about where this entire administration rode the entire time, and it should be on a steady decline because we've got way too damn many people and not enough jobs, man.
Well, you see how the chart goes, and that what you're saying is that first year, that's the people going back to work.
Okay,
and that is the manufacturing that President Trump brought over here.
Exactly,
and so that is
those numbers shouldn't be added in, and
those are Trump's, and that's what happened, and then. There you go. You see the line where
but they took credit for it where it shouldn't have, and that's what.
Of course,
that's kind of where my long story short goes. Is the fact that in April of 21, when the job numbers were only like 350,000, that's where it should have rode and dropped and declined on a steady decline from then. Because from about April of 21, the border got to rocking as far as people coming. And you know it. And that's about the time that they banned Fox News and drone coverage and everything else from the border and told everybody to get away. And remember, then you had the Border Patrol guy whipping them with a horse whip incident that was completely false. But that's about the time all that began, man. You know what I mean?
I do. And it just continues on, and it's going to get worse, and it's going to get worse because they're taking away all of our production. It's going to Mexico. They keep talking about President Trump talks about it every single rally.
Yep.
He pounds that
in
your head. They're taking your manufacturing and putting it into Mexico now.
If COVID,
and taking the people over here.
That's right. If 2020 should have taught us anything, it should have taught us how vulnerable we are, how much we don't produce in our own country here, how much value we don't bring to the rest of the world. Because in my opinion, the America that I used to know in 2020, we would have stood up and took care of the world, and we couldn't because we had spent all that time. NAFTA's a big reason of that, because we had spent all that time moving our manufacturing out of our country.
Yes.
We couldn't make the goods we needed. We seen all the boats out there in the Pacific Ocean waiting to get into the ports. Man, we seen all of that.
Yeah, and then as soon as that strike was fixing to happen, all of a sudden there was boats out there, ships and everything again.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even know if that stuff's real anymore. I have no trust.
I tell you
none
what,
whatsoever.
I tell you what I do know and what I do trust, and that's cornbread hemp products, man.
Oh, we love cornbread ham.
Yep. And I'm going to tell you something. If you ever feel like you need a little extra support to unwind, go find you online at www.cornbreadhemp.com. You go find them because they're here for you. They offer full spectrum CBD products that are USDA certified, organic, and crafted to help you find your calm naturally. Cornbread Hemp uses only the highest quality hemp grown right here in the USA, with products made from the flower only to give you the best of what CBD has to offer. No stems, no leaves, just pure, potent goodness. From their best-selling CBD oils to their gummies and their lotions, Cornbread Hemp has something for everyone looking to de-stress and to recharge. So plus, all their products are lab-tested for purity and transparency. So you know you're getting exactly what's on the label. If you're ready to add a little calm to your day, check out Cornbread Hemp and feel the difference for yourself. Your body and your mind deserve it. And I'll tell you what else you deserve. If you will use the promo code ITTW, you'll save 30% off your initial order. There we go.
Please click that link below. We surely would appreciate that.
You know it.
And I get their Blueberry Breeze THC gummies. And after a long evening like tonight, when I get finished here with the show, I'm going to go get me a book. I'm going to curl up in a corner and take me a gummy. It's going to relax me. I'm going to focus.
There you go.
You know, and I'm going to chill. And it's great. So please try them out. They're really our number one sponsor. So we appreciate them every single day. We do.
Yep. And like we mentioned earlier, man, it's Friday night. Hey, man, everybody's chilling. We're chilling. We want y'all to chill with us because we're just going to run through some things tonight.
Yes, we are. And President Trump is live, I believe, right now. I think he might be late. Who knows? Let's check him out. He's supposed to be taking the stage in Wisconsin.
Oh, here we go. We got these guys. I don't know who these guys are. They're RSBN, but I don't know who the commentators are.
Yeah, let me refresh the page because
you do it.
I'm going to refresh the page.
You do it.
See if we can get President Trump, because 4 days until election. Here's try this right here.
T-shirt gun really freaked me out.
Go.
But that was cool. Cool to see. Again, I say it all the time.
Look at the
but
crowd,
it's true,
man.
because
It is amazing.
when you're at President Trump's rallies, the enthusiasm is so exciting. Everyone's excited. They're jumping up and down. They're waving their signs. They're doing the wave
oops.
across.
What are you doing?
I
Throughout
don't
the
know.
stadium.
Back to tab.
Quit playing with
Saw a
it.
T-shirt
Okay,
toss
I'm
of
sorry.
people just throwing T-shirts at Madison Square Garden, but today we actually had a big T-shirt gun blasting them out. It feels like
I want
like
one
a
for
Milwaukee
Christmas.
Bucks
I
game,
want
because that's where they
one.
play here
Hey,
at
if
Visor
anyone
Forum.
gets a
Or
T-shirt,
it feels like
get us
the
one.
Super Bowl. It feels like a rock concert. It's always a blast here at the Trump rallies.
It is rock
I was about to
concert
warn you,
level,
but you were
man.
doing that
is.
read so well that
It's
I thought it
rock
wouldn't
star
startle you
level.
too much, but it was pretty loud. And that's what, if you haven't been here, especially, I love the outdoor
we're not
rallies.
gonna
They're
listen
amazing, but
they're sweet.
this-
I like them and all. They're RSBN. Y'all need to follow them. They're really good. Every one of President Trump's rallies they're at.
Yes, they
That's
are.
why we use them.
And they got great coverage.
And they
man.
have great coverage of all of the speakers. They start really early, and they are there. So if you need to. So we'll come back and check on him. He's always late. He was supposed to be there, at 6:30?
something like that.
Yes. But we have a lot of stuff that we can go over as we, weed through the day and a couple of days since Wednesday. and I know on Wednesday we were talking about elections.
Yeah, and election integrity, man.
And all the kind of crap going on.
And after the DOJ statement the other day about them posting up at polling stations, now Christopher Wray comes out and says that they're going to be doing it. Let me tell you something. FBI, DOJ, stay away from our elections, man. Stay away. We don't need you there. We as a country should be able to come together peacefully. I hope that happens.
But you know,
I know that it won't. I hope that it does, man. But
you know,
and I think it will in a lot of
that
places.
they would be doing this on both sides, checking both sides, making sure that it's a good election for everybody.
I agree.
But they have bullied us to the point where we don't think that they're going to do anything that would help the conservative side. There's, so you have that such mistrust in the people that is supposed to be there for you to trust.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you just don't know what to do.
Well,
I mean, they come out with
based
this
on everything that they've done, man.
Joint ODNI, FBI, and CISA statement on Russian election influence efforts. How can you even a little bit believe anything they say about Russia now?
Exactly. I get it.
Even if this was true, which I'm just going to say, by the way, we want to state these are our opinions and our assertions.
Yes. And if you like our opinions and our assertions, you share the show. And I tell you what, if you don't like our opinions and our assertions, go ahead and share our show. Tell your friends, man. Look us up on any platform, Apple, Spotify, Google, YouTube. We're everywhere,
Wherever.
Man. Look us
Stomp
up.
that like button.
You bet.
Every time you see is this
And
thing
subscribe.
working. And subscribe.
Yep.
There you go. We said it all before I start talking about this because, wow.
Yeah, because here is more propaganda because it goes, this Russian activity is part of Moscow's broader effort to raise unfounded questions about the integrity of the U.S. election and stoke division among Americans, as detailed in prior Office of Director of National Intelligence election updates. In the lead up to Election Day and in the weeks and months after, the intel community expects Russia to create and release additional media content that seeks to undermine trust in the integrity of the election and divide Americans. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it, government. You know
What
better
are you
than that,
doing?
man. You are the ones that are doing every bit of this, man.
Yes.
Propaganda.
Every bit of this is propaganda. Russia is, I mean, I can't even talk. I mean, I can't even. A recent video that falsely depicted individuals claiming to be from Haitian and voting illegally in multiple counties in Georgia. I guarantee you that happened.
Well, sure it did.
It happened.
Sure it did. I bet it happened right up here in our public library where we're holding our polling station. I bet things like that have happened up there, man.
Yeah, I bet you they're taking IDs
Everywhere.
that they're not supposed to be taking because the Secretary of State issued that to do that at first, and that's what they do. They're like, well, you told me, but even though she came out with a statement saying, no, we have to do this, there are people out there that are going to break that law. And I just, and I hate that we can't trust each other anymore.
Right.
That there's no trust anywhere in anybody, even our little local people at the library.
Right.
As much as I know that they work hard and they do and have to deal with a lot of people and a lot of BS right now because of elections. And I get all that.
Okay, and that's kind of my thing with that. I was sitting here listening to you. So say you're a poll worker and you're sitting there and this person walks up that you can clearly look at and he probably can't even say election. You know what I mean? But you're looking at him because you know he can't speak English. And he throws down this ID and it's got a bona fide address on it. Are you going to look at him? How do you get him out of there? What do you do? What do you do? You know what I mean? As just a person sitting there doing this all day long, and they throw that ID down there and you look at it and like I say, you look back up at them and
You
what
say
do
no.
you do?
You say
okay,
no,
and then
no
what,
vote.
Right, and then what happens?
Well, I guess they have rules for that kind of stuff. But there are many. I'm hoping that there are many people that are going to try to vote.
I hope, man.
And that they're just doing.
That's all I want, man. Is clean, fair, and honest elections. And I know we're not going to get that.
Be able to trust people with our elections.
And that's the thing that I talk about a lot. People always try to pin me down and say that I'm a conservative, or that I'm a Republican, or that I'm MAGA, or that I'm America First. I
label
am.
You.
Yes, and label me. But I want to tell you, and that leads back to my last 4 years comments earlier. If you sit there from 2020 and you look up to see what all has went down in the last 4 years, you should be anti-government and establishment. And that's what the battle that we face, man.
Yes.
It is not a battle against the R's, against the D's. It's not that. It is the people of America are fed up with feckless and dishonest and bullshit out of you people, man.
I know.
And the government, we're fed up with it, man. Just like we continue to talk about election integrity. Those poll workers sitting there at that desk are going to have a hard enough time trying to figure out who actually is here because they were born here and they're a U.S. citizen, or who's actually here because Joe Biden flew them in on airplanes, man. You got election integrity going on, issues all over the post office too.
And it's these ballots.
Yes, the mail-in ballots.
They want our elections to be so mixed up with so many different things from different angles that we don't catch it. Oh well, well, what will they say? Oh well, it's not enough to swing an election when it is now. Now they've reached the point, the past the point of return. Yeah. There is no other return. They have to continue to do this to win. That's the only way.
Well, and it's here forever, I believe. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I heard. I was talking to somebody today, matter of fact, and we were talking about the election coming up, how much chaos we expect to see go on, and all the bullshit, like you say, we expect to go on. And we talked about 2020 also. And how the summer of 2020 leading up to the election, with all that went on, and the scare tactics and the fear-mongering and the rioting and the burning of the cities and all of that, and it scared people and it put people in their homes, and they had no choice but to do mail-in ballot. And that he said it wouldn't. He said I wouldn't put it past the government to have done all of that to set up the sheep or the people to accept mail-in voting as a normal, regular thing, when that mail-in voting is really set up for circumstances.
Right. And that's what we've always had here in Texas. And the thing is that, and this is what the Democrats got really tired of, because, see, the Democrats, we had a state like California who became just a Democrat state, and a state like New York, followed California. So we don't want to be New York, or we don't want to be California, but the thing is, the Democrats hated that so much that they forced them ballots on these states that didn't want them. And they did that through COVID.
Right.
And so now it's a thing. Now they're not going to ever get rid of them.
That's what I'm saying.
Unless we get rid of them.
Yeah.
Unless there's some way we can change the Constitution in some way.
Well, mail-in ballots.
Put them in there.
Mail-in ballots should be allowed for your soldiers
one
overseas.
Day only.
For your mail-in balloting is good for your soldiers overseas, those that serve overseas. It should be for those that are handicapped and can't get to the polling stations. It should be for those type of things. And in Texas, I think you have to actually fill out an application to get that.
To get one from overseas, yes.
Well, I think you do even
if you're in another state.
Well, no, I mean, like, just right here, if you were to request a mail-in, an absentee ballot is what I'm saying.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absentee balloting, which is basically what mail-in voting is. If you're mailing it in, it's an absentee ballot.
Yeah, that's what it is here.
Yeah.
And it's really for senior citizens, people in nursing homes, and sick people that can't get there.
That can't make it to the poll.
there is
Legitimately.
only a handful of reasons why you could get one.
Right.
And the list is getting longer and longer and longer and longer, and that's how they do this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, but what we're going to talk about right here is that the Postal Service. It's the Postal Service is in on it. People don't talk about the Postal Service, and I have to give the Amuse here on X. He wrote a huge, in-depth article about the last-minute Postal Service directive that blocks scanning images of mail-in ballots. Now we know Postal Life. We have been in it for many years and got out of it because it is absolutely government owned.
Well,
Everything the government does, the post office does.
I can tell you myself, I've seen a lot of different things that were corrupt that went on there. I've seen a lot of different things that went on that they forced us to do, even as carriers, that we knew wasn't right, based on lies. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And honestly, the term "going postal" is a bona fide term, and when they hire you, that was part of their teaching, was to train you not to say postal in the post office. Going postal.
Don't
you couldn't
say that. That's a bad phrase.
But the thing is, what I was getting at with that is, the thing is, they brought that upon themselves because their workplace is toxic, man. And so me and you, both of us, we've seen all that going on for all those years. And not only that, we've seen a lot of shady things going on within our own office, and ballots and political mail and those kind of things. We've seen a lot of shady stuff go on there. And this, what Amuse writes here, talks a lot about that kind of thing, man.
Yes. Y'all need to really go look him up. It's really, really long. But he said over here about election integrity, he said last month, the USPS quietly issued a last-minute directive preventing the imaging of mail-in ballots. And normally, the USPS would be able to confirm the number of mail-in ballots sent to election officials to ensure fraudulent ballots aren't inserted into the election. Bypassing the central scanning facilities, as the directive requires, means that there will be no way to verify the numbers reported by local election authorities that match the numbers reported by the USPS. That right there is signal.
Yeah.
This is what's going on behind your back.
They're fixing to bring truckloads and truckloads
of ballots with
from where? Yeah.
What state is it that gets to count ballots without
without postmarks?
Without postmarks for up to 3 days?
Yeah.
Is it Virginia?
Up to 3 days. I'm not for sure.
Man, we just talked about this on the show the other day.
Our office done it in 20.
Well, I get that, but that's what that's about.
We've seen them
right
accept
there.
ballots
The post
3
office
days after.
will bring ballots to that state for 3 days.
Yes. Yep.
You know, so I mean, this is what I mean. You have to
postmarked or not.
Postmarked or not, and after 3 days, then it has to be postmarked. No, what? That don't even make no sense, because you have 5 days to get them in.
What they're saying is they're going to let people turn in ballots for 3 days after the election. Mm-hmm. Then on day 4, it would have to have a postmark.
Right.
But we seen ballots be backdated.
Yes.
On the postmarks. We seen that, man.
We did.
Yeah.
We did. And used to never throw mail or any ballots into the first class mail. You never threw them in there and mixed them in.
Protocol.
The protocol was they had their own
separate
containers.
Yep.
And they, got personally delivered.
Yeah.
And sent through the mail.
Yes.
And postmarked to personally each step of the way. And so, they were really taken care of. Now it's just like free for all.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
But the integrity of the election really hinges on the robustness of the systems that facilitate voter participation. When those systems are altered at the last minute, the checks and balances designed to prevent fraud can be seriously undermined.
Yeah. A recent directive issued by the USPS just a month before the upcoming election threatens to do precisely that, like what we're talking about. They're instructing USPS facilities to bypass their central scanning operations for mail-in ballots. The USPS has this little program that, what's it called, where you can see you can look at your mail every day online.
Yeah.
What's it called?
I think it says it in here. It even talks about
what is that little program called?
informed delivery.
Informed delivery. That's it.
Yeah.
So every piece of mail is scanned and photographed. You know what I mean? It's scanned and photographed, and you can go on there and find your pieces of mail for that day that's in the mail stream that's going to come to you every day. And now all of a sudden, we're not doing that no more.
Yeah, and that's what it says here. He says another problem arises with the lack of transparency. Informed delivery, a service offered by USPS. See, people could see their ballots coming to them and know when it's there.
Yes.
You know, if they use this digital system that we use. The tracking system.
Yeah.
And now they're not going to use the tracking system. You're not going to see your ballot in your informed delivery.
So will you know if you even get your ballot?
That's right.
When your ballot leaves you, will you know if it ever gets there? Will that, you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's just crazy, man.
And without the centralized scanning process, this transparency is lost. Voters now have fewer assurances that their ballot has traveled safely through the system or reached its intended destination.
Yes.
In conclusion, the last-minute USPS directive to bypass centralized scanning to absentee ballots has significant ramifications for election integrity. It removes a key verification step. By stripping away a vital layer of transparency, this directive leaves voters and observers in the dark about whether the number of ballots reported by local election authorities truly reflect those mailed. And there's no way to check them.
There's absolutely
no way to, and that's what they want. They want, because if they can't get caught cheating, and this is what it is, and what they continue to say, well, you can't prove it. Prove it.
Right.
See, that's what they're doing. And so with no transparency, you can't prove it.
You can't prove it. Plausible deniability.
Plausible deniability.
Yeah.
100%.
Criminal is what it is.
Yes.
It's criminal.
You know, and we just have to, there just has to be something that we can do about this. Folks, you need to get out there and vote. This is an imperative, a time in our country.
This may show you that it's too late. You know, that's the thing, man. This may show us that it's too late now.
Yes. Well, already, you know, you're seeing judges coming out, so, you know, giving some wins to some states. And then the most important things that we really need the judges to take care of, they just, you know, shy away from, because anything election integrity, everybody is so afraid of. You know, they have made it that way on purpose.
Who has made it that way? Tell us. The R's and the D's.
Both of them.
Both sides are to blame for this, man. If this goes wrong and it blows up in our face, like it could.
Yes.
It very well could.
It really could.
I'm hoping and praying that it doesn't, and I'm hoping and praying that it's, like we all said, it's too big to rig. Everybody has voted early. People know. You know what I mean? The numbers are there. People know already, man. I just hope and pray that it goes that way and not.
Yeah, me
you know
too.
what I mean?
Yes, me too. Well, I guess he's moved to 8 o'clock. So we might not get to hear him, but we have a video here that he was in that he talked about. So we're going to go down here and listen to what he had to say. Oh, you want to listen to Kamala?
No, I don't want. You want to?
Well,
go ahead.
Let's listen to how fake she is.
She is fake. She's. Well, maybe we aren't.
Maybe we won't.
Oh, there we go.
It goes.
Out. Who here has already voted? Oh, wow! goodness. That's great. Thank you. We're 4 days out. Who here has already voted?
And those are people she busts in anyway. They're as
They're
fake as
supposed
she
to
is.
say that.
Yeah.
I mean, look, they only show a few people right behind her.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they don't ever show a crowd really. She doesn't have anybody, y'all. I'm sorry. That is a sound wave or something. That's I don't even know. I can't even do Trump. That Waltz guy.
Yeah.
He's such a creepy person.
He's a commie.
Yeah, that thing about Liz Cheney has just gotten crazy. Liz Cheney put out a video today that was edited to make it sound like President Trump wanted to put her in front of a firing squad.
Said she should be fired upon? Yeah.
Yes. That is not what he said. He was talking totally about how she sends all our people over to get fired upon.
Yeah.
That is what he said.
Yeah.
He did not say her.
Right.
He said that she's a warmonger and sends our precious people to wars to get fired upon. That is pretty much what he said.
Yeah.
And she edited it.
Puerto Rico is an island of floating garbage, and she's a human of just pure garbage. Yeah, man.
And then this was pretty interesting because the Secret Service came out with they released unclassified summary of its internal investigation into failures that led to assassination attempt of President Trump and Butler.
Right.
You know, so it's so hard for us or for me. There's the iconic picture. This right here alone should get him elected. Right.
Yeah.
Fight. Y'all better go vote. I've been seeing more and more people posting vote pictures, so I'm proud of that.
They go through and they tell the story about it.
About
how
story.
Crooks was on the roof, and the internal investigation found that in addition to communication failures, they did not adequately address the line of sight risk from the AGR building to Trump stage. And here's the most important part. This is what I thought. Multiple Secret Service personnel mistakenly assessed the line of sight risk to the former president as acceptable, leading to the inadequate elimination. The unclassified report said Secret Service expected farm equipment would be in place to eliminate the line of sight issues, but they were not utilized. Site advanced personnel failed to recognize gaps in the site's construction and failed to notify their chain of command that potential line of sight concerns were not fully mitigated. The report said, okay, I've been following John Cullen a lot, and he's done a lot of investigating on this, and he's done ballistics, on this, and tons of video. And if you remember, just the same as I remember, on that day when we were watching that, the report of the lady talking about the Secret Service firing toward, or the sniper firing toward the trees, okay? And where that building set, where the stage set, where the AGR building was at, when that sniper turned and fired toward those trees, he turned to his right, a solid, good turn to his right, and began to fire into those trees. Was farm equipment blocking Thomas Crook's line of sight, or was trees blocking his line of sight? But
the way it looked was trees.
Yeah, and anything in my mind, there was absolutely no reason for this sniper to turn to the right unless he immediately knew that something just came from there, because he turned and he fired that direction, man.
Yes. There's something not right with this, and the people on the committee, I don't think that they really looked very hard.
Right.
This is the photo that was taken at 5:14 p.m. by the sniper team.
Yes.
Crook's body at 618, and then the second floor sniper.
Yeah. Well, and think about this. Not only do you have all of the discrepancies here and the 8 to 9 shots that were fired, you've got all of that going on, and then there was reports yesterday. What were 2 cars doing at the Thomas Crook's house? There again, remember after the shooting and they went to the Crook's house, it was clean. It had been cleaned. It had been, you know what I mean? The mess was cleaned up.
And this is a good point, though, right here, where he says, according to the official narrative, Crooks did the following all by himself without an insider's help. Goes to what you're talking about with everything clean. Look, it says flew a drone over the Pennsylvania Fairgrounds and got aerial footage of the rally layout of the day on the day of the event, including 2 hours before Trump took the stage.
Yeah.
Got a rangefinder through security.
Parked a vehicle full of explosives. How?
He was able to walk around the premises after snipers took a photo of him looking suspicious.
Exactly. And a sniper located in the second-story window was only 40 feet away from Crooks, and he did not do nothing about it.
Trump was still able to take the stage after Crooks was pegged as suspicious by Secret Service.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, all of it is key with the fact of that of the lady reporter that talked about the sniper shooting to the trees and showing video of that sniper on the roof flinch and turn toward the trees, make a hard right with his tripod and his weapon, and start firing into the trees, man.
Yeah.
So there's a damn reason, man.
And what's so sad is this is their investigation.
Yeah.
This is what they investigated.
Not only,
we all knew this already.
Yeah. And going back to the house, the Thomas Crook's house.
Yeah, what
about that? It was cleaned out. It was completely wiped. You know what I mean? Even to the fact that there wasn't no silverware in there. Now, a couple of days earlier, or just a day or two ago, 2 cars showed up, rental cars from Florida. And not only those things, his body was taken from the coroner's office in Butler County, taken by the FBI, and cremated.
I know.
It's
every bit of it is suspicious.
Yeah.
100% suspicious. But we're going to go through before we close for the night and just go through a little bit of trending. Trending, this is noise, everybody. When we look at the trending to see what all's going on in there. And looky here. I seen this a while ago. I just about laughed. Harris prepares for Trump's premature victory claim. Now, I could go in here and I could look at all of the comments and all of this stuff. This is noise.
Yep.
And this is stuff that they continue to say on the CNN shows. Propaganda that Trump isn't going to claim victory. I mean, that he's going to claim victory ahead of time.
And then get beat.
Conditioning. It's conditioned. And so now she's going to do it. She's going to do it first. She will be the one to come out and claim victory even when she's down. Watch it. Flag it.
Yep.
She will do it. And then, of course, here we go. Supreme Court allows Pennsylvania provisional ballots. That means that okay, so they allow it, it says. But really, the Supreme Court did not take up the case.
Really?
So that's what happened.
Right.
And so, in essence, sent it back to another court.
To the appellate court, to a lower court. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I was talking about earlier about the Supreme Court. They're going to not be there for us.
Right. In the end.
Yeah. I don't have.
That's how much I don't have confidence that they are scared of the Democrat Party. Everyone is scared of them. They bullied them for 4 years now.
Yeah.
You know, it's terrible. And then there's voter citizenship proof rulings in Arizona and Ohio. That's a win for us.
Yeah.
Right there. The Arizona, remember they got to count like 200
200,000. They got to get rid of 200,000.
Right.
Yeah, 218. Huge win.
Yep.
Judge
218,000.
Judge orders Arizona's Democrat Secretary of State to release a list of 218,000 registered voters who did not provide proof of citizenship. 218,000. That right there is enough to lose an election.
Yep.
That is enough right there.
Yep.
As tight as everything is.
Yep. Yes, it is.
That is enough. So that's a great win right there. Let's see what we can find out about Ohio.
There you go. It says a federal judge in Ohio just ruled against a motion to block the Secretary of State's rule requiring voters to show proof of citizenship if their status is unclear.
Yes. Yes, if you're confused, someone says the Secretary of State's rule requires voters to show proof of citizenship if their status is unclear. I mean, that is their wording,
There was a motion to try and block that rule, and that's when the federal judge in Ohio just ruled against that motion.
Okay.
Yep.
There we go. Yeah, because that kind of sounded, and they even wanted me to rate the community note, so I'll have to go back and rate that. You must show proof of citizenship in Ohio. Beard Vet says it the best right there. So, and then Trump plans a big role for RFK Jr. in health and women's health too.
Yep.
Yes, he's picked him for. I think he might be rehauling that whole health thing.
And then this is.
Oh wait, let me go back to where I was at. Sorry. It's always about her. Okay. You gonna talk about him anyway, ain't you?
Yep.
This guy, he gives me the creeps.
Yep. Yeah, but he called Elon that gay guy, and it backfired on him because Elon goes, I have no problem being called gay, to be honest.
That's funny.
Yeah.
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 So this is the kind of stuff that goes on X. But see, there's Elon. Mm-hmm. Even on X earlier, let's see, X is voting for Trump was trending.
Yep. Look, here he spent $9,000 from his Senate campaign account at beauty spas. It didn't work.
Man, he looks rough, doesn't he?
Yeah, it didn't work. Yeah.
They picked the worst picture they could find of him. See, voting for Trump.
Yep.
It's trending.
Yeah, if you want humanity to make it to Mars, that's hilarious.
That is hilarious. That is all Elon Musk wants. He wants to make it to Mars. I think he would have even gone to the Democrat side if they would get him to the Mars. You know what I mean? But they turned against him so bad. But when he bought X, and he gets it now.
Yeah.
People get it. And then JD Vance.
And here we are again,
And
talking
here we
about
are.
more election interference and more cheating.
This is big.
Yep.
You know, I have to give Scott Pressler, he's called The Persistence here on X, and he is on top of all of these.
Yep.
And they give them extra time, another day, today, till 5 o'clock today. And they only put 1 or 2 people in there to do all of this to suppress votes. People have waited in line 5 hours.
Yes.
You know,
to vote.
And, you know, Scott Pressler, and he says, is this a coincidence this is happening in Bucks County, which we flipped from Democrat to Republicans?
Yep.
I mean, he flipped it.
Right.
He did.
Right.
I didn't. He did all the hard
Right.
work.
In ballot harvesting.
And he's got, he's got people there videoing. He's got a whole ground game going with that. and he stays on top of them. And this is what's going on locally. Of course, we talked about Ted Cruz, and then we have the NHL Global Series, Panthers, Edge Stars.
Yep, beat the Stars.
Texas Rangers World Series anniversary. They didn't even make it there this time. I'm sorry about that. We had to listen to the daggum Yankees and Dodgers again. I feel like
I'm glad the Yankees lost.
Me too.
Man, me too.
Yeah,
me too.
I was kind of going for the Dodgers.
Yeah, when they won Game 4, man, I was like, oh man, here we go.
I know.
Yeah.
So there we go. Everybody, tomorrow there will be 3 days left to vote. A lot of people today was the last day to vote because of early voting. I think Texas's is Sunday. So I think you got the weekend here in Texas to go vote. I don't think you can vote on Monday. And then I think because they need a day to set up for Election Day. I think that's how it's going.
Right.
Pretty much from here on in. You will be hearing from us again pretty soon. Probably over the weekend we'll do another little short live stream.
Yep.
To give you the
Tuesday
to break
night.
the narrative. But Tuesday night we are live.
Yep. Tuesday night we're live. We're
For
hanging
hours.
in there. Yep. We're gonna hang in there and watch the polls.
Yes, we're
Watch-
going to
watch
watch
the numbers come in.
numbers will be up all night long probably. So we're excited about that because it's finally getting there. It's been a long time coming. We've worked toward it.
Yep.
You know, everyone's worked really hard. They're still do not stop.
Yep.
Do not stop.
Yep.
And then afterwards, do not stop. You cannot
Exactly.
get down
We
on your
cannot.
laurels. We have got to be on top
gotta
of
fight.
everything.
President
Watch
Trump.
everything. Record everything. Take
Yep.
pictures.
See something, say something.
That's
Man,
exactly
President
right.
Trump stood up after taking a bullet to the ear, and the first, well, other than, hey, give me my shoes, but he took a bullet to the ear, and he looked at the people that were there, and he knew why he was there, and he raised his fist, and he said, fight, fight, fight. People, that's what we got to do. If we want to save our country, we've got to fight, fight, fight. Fight it the way we know how. Fight it the way we know how. Get out and vote. We got to do this first. This is our first step. Got to make it happen. Is this thing working?
Rise up.